Stone. This is HVTV Network. I have a great guest today. My man Rodney Stone, legendary pioneer of the MCs from Funky 4 plus One More. It gets no further introduction right here. This is what it is, live and direct HVTV. Have a great guest. My man Rodney Stone, welcome.
Thank you. I truly appreciate the opportunity to sit down and kick it with you.
My man, I appreciate it. It's like so much we had to cover up. Prime example, like you have been an inspiration, and I feel personally that a lot of people not understanding or aware of the things that you are a part of. A lot of positive things as far as being a community activist in the hip hop community, and also being an inspiration for people like myself that do follow and support hip hop in general.
Okay.
So please give us a little more, give my audience and your audience more education on what we have going on, who is Rodney C supporting, what Rodney C is currently working on now. I know about the dental care, I know about the healthcare. I'm saying too much. Let you say what you got to say to the viewers out there.
Okay.
Man. Let us know. Like first question, what we have going on today, so people could be on the same point.
Okay. Thank you for your introduction, but I always like to introduce myself as well. So if you don't mind, my name is Rodney Stone, but I'm professionally known as Rodney C. I'm one half of the original Double Trouble. I was featured in the first hip hop, breakdance, and graffiti movie ever created. It was called Wild Style. Considered the Bible of rap, opened the doors for all the movies and things going on today. In addition to that, I'm also 1/5 member of the Funky 4 plus One More and the Funky 4 plus One. We were the very first hip hop group from the Bronx to get a legitimate record deal. We were the very first hip hop group with a female. Her name is Sha Rock. She is the very first female of hip hop.
Don't get it twisted.
And we were the very first hip hop group to do national television.
Yes.
We did Saturday Night Live with Deborah Harry on Valentine's Day, 1981.
Right.
Okay, speeding up, coming to the future. I'm currently director of special projects for Praise, Peace, and Pride in Corp, which is a non-profit youth organization, and we operate out of the South Bronx.
Nice.
Our mission statement is to create positive alternatives for youth against drugs, crime, violence, and gang activity. What I do for Praise, Peace, and Pride is Safe Night. And Safe Night is a concept that was conceived almost 20 years ago.
Nice, nice.
Youth leaders in Wisconsin felt the need to create environments that were drug-free, weapon-free, and argument-free.
Okay.
So they created Safe Night.
Okay.
Since its inception in 1994, they have produced over 500 Safe Nights in Wisconsin. The concept, it swept the country. On June 5th, 1999, it was a national kickoff and campaign. 50 states and 2 other countries were involved.
Nice.
Over 1,000 sites were set up to produce what they call Safe Night USA.
Okay.
I personally assisted in helping to set up 6 Safe Night sites here in New York. Okay. We had a total of 23 sites.
Well, hold up. So my question is to you: what inspired you to even get into this type of program? What consciousness came to you, personally speaking?
Well, actually, I was through my 50 plus years on this earth, I've done a lot of things. I was a youth counselor at one time for a drug treatment program.
To those that did not know that.
And this is how I became in contact with the Safe Night concept.
Okay.
Right? So it was just basically a project that was put on my desk. My supervisor said, I need you to get involved with this. It was a national campaign. So it was a mandate that came down through the mayor's office in New York that every youth program needed to be involved with this. So this is how I got involved. I liked the Safe Night concept so much that I began to replicate Safe Nights on an ongoing basis, and through Praise, Peace, and Pride is how I was able to do that.
Nice.
To date, I have produced almost 100 Safe Nights since 1999. And I've done this citywide throughout New York City. I had locations in every borough except Staten Island. And I did it in the beginning as a competition.
Right, of course.
Vocal, rap, dance, step, spoken word, poetry, and fashion. And I did that for about 12 years. Right? And then I have my hands in some other projects. I'm also executive director of On Track Productions, which is an unlimited entertainment company. And it's that.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It's that vehicle that I use to service individuals and groups
Okay.
who have an earnest desire to make it in the industry,
Right.
and I help them to gain much needed experience and exposure through events that I produce.
Nice.
In addition to that, I'm also executive director of the Groundbreakers. And then I have my hands in some other projects. I'm also executive director of On Track Productions, which is an unlimited entertainment company.
Okay.
And it's that.
Congratulations, by the way. That's
Thank you.
good.
It's that vehicle that I use to service individuals and groups
Okay.
who have an earnest desire to make it in the industry,
Right.
and I help them to gain much needed experience and exposure through events that I produce.
Nice.
In addition to that, I'm also a handful of original hip-hop pioneers who come together for one common cause.
Okay.
That's to raise awareness and to raise money for a medical health and dental care program
Okay.
for hip-hop pioneers and their immediate families. And even though we do now have Obamacare, you know what I mean, I think hip-hop still needs to be able to take care of itself.
For now, we have it. You know, that's another discussion. But yeah, hopefully that can be more consistent with Obamacare, because I'm really supporting that with the situation that's going on in today's economy and whatnot, and the political BS stuff. But I see that your program that you have is definitely going to be beneficial for a lot of folks, especially for the hip hop community, but not just the hip hop community, people in poverty, I suppose. Okay, specifically. And I think that will be something that a lot of people need to know about. So I'm happy that you came on board today to speak about that and share this information, because a lot of people need to know where to find them and where to go about it. And how did you even get to that point to say, hey, I want to get here and this is what I want to do back. So I'm going to go a little rewind back a little bit. There was a time that you actually had struggles growing up as a kid. Everyone had their moments, especially living in Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, New York, period. What's the breaking moment for you to say, hey, listen, I need to start doing something more than what I'm doing, and I'm going to make it more successful here in this hip-hop industry?
Are we talking about the programs, or are we talking about
hip-hop in general for you as an artist?
There were different situations that arose through my career. You know what I mean? I've been a recording artist for almost 4 decades. You know, so I've been in the game a very, very long time. I've seen a lot of changes in the game from when we started to what's going on now.
Right.
There were situations with record labels that made me say that I had to make sure that I did something that would be beneficial, to hip hop as a whole, but primarily, with me in mind.
Right.
I remember being signed to Enjoy.
Okay.
And this is the first record label that I was signed to, and they took us on our first tour, and we went down the Eastern Seaboard, and they left us. We got on the road, and they just left us.
Right.
And I got stranded. You know what I mean? And I wasn't but a couple of 100 miles away from home, but I was somewhere that I wasn't familiar with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was a red flag for us. Signed to Sugar Hill. Same situation, a little different, but my ex-wife, Angie Stone, had gotten some theatrical makeup in her eye, and she needed to have minor surgery.
Right.
And the label basically told us that she had to take care of that on her own. You know what I mean? So that let me know at that point that we were employed by these people who didn't care anything about us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Meaning that whatever happened to me on the road was up to me to make sure that I came up with a remedy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was an eye-opener as well. But then most recently, when I was working for the drug treatment program and I had benefits, my current wife gotten sick, and she's a double cancer survivor. Prior to me marrying her, we had been together for a number of years, and I was already working. So I didn't add her to my benefit package. But when we had actually consummated our relationship through marriage, I needed to add her and my children, and they wanted an extra $500 a month in order for me to
put them on, right?
You know what I mean? That and unfortunately, I wasn't able to add her at the time, so my wife suffered for a little while. Luckily, you know, she was able to get some medical assistance.
Right.
You know, and I remember when she was going through chemo, I had to pay for her medication. She had to have a pre, a during, and post pill. I don't know what this medication was, but all I know is that these 3 pills cost me $250. You know what I mean? And she had to have chemo twice a month, and she had to have chemo for 6 months. You know what I mean? So that was an extra $3,000 that I had to find.
Would you say that is what encouraged you to start this campaign of health and dental care?
Of course.
Of course?
Of course. I mean,
so that's inspired you.
That was, you know, pretty much the purpose and reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? At that point. You know, I know a few other people who needed assistance, but actually how the program came into fruition, I was at a Zulu Nation anniversary.
Okay.
In 2006, November 2006. And there was an organization there that mirrors the program that I do with the youth.
Right.
And they came down to, I guess, capture the anniversary. And someone must have pointed me out and said, you know, it's Rodney C. And, you know, so one of the little people ran up on me and asked me, could he interview me? And I just thought it was so cute. And I was like, okay. And prior to that, I had to have dental surgery.
Okay.
And I had about $5,000-$6,000 worth dental work done.
Right.
And I had just gotten my new dentures and all of that. And I ended up losing them.
Wow.
Right? So I told the person, the cameraman, you know, I'll do the interview, but make sure you back up, don't get all in my mouth and all of that. And so I did the interview, went pretty well. After that, they wanted to take pictures, and I took pictures with them, but I didn't smile.
Right.
And about 2 weeks later, I got a call from one of the directors at the program, and they wanted to thank me for participating in their interview, but the guy also extended to me assistance, and he said to me, Mr. Stone, I want to help you. And I was like, help me do what? And he was like, I want to help you raise money to get you some dentures. And I thought that was like, you know, I mean, I almost cried on the spot. You know what I mean? It touched me like that. And I said to him that I would graciously accept his help only if we did it for all of hip hop. Right. Because I know other people, you know what I mean, who could use some assistance. So this is how the program actually came into fruition. So we started, you know, putting paper to pen in 2007. We made it a legal entity in 2009. Right. You know what I mean? And right now we're just trying to expose it, you know, to the world.
Who are some of the people that currently that are in the industry that has a name such as yourself that do support your movement so far that you can name off the top?
Okay, T-Ski Valley, hip hop pioneer. Swoony G, hip hop pioneer. Men vs. Many is a duo group. Cool Cow, the original Star Child. He has a partner named RB the Brolic. Reggie Reg from the Crash Crew. It's a host of us. It's only a handful of us, but you know, we are working.
Hopefully, we could change that to get more people out there to be a part of this, and that's the key. So one of the things I need to know is, how do you feel about hip hop from the beginning stages to now? Like, how does hip hop affect you personally, and how do you view it? Rather, honestly, the real, honest answer, not to hurt people's feelings.
Okay, well, no, okay. Nas said hip hop is dead. Okay. And I believe him. Okay. And the reason why I believe him, because I know that statement to be true. Okay. Hip hop is an era. Even though it's a lifestyle and it's a culture, it's still an era. And that era is 73 to 79.
Okay.
Right? You could say 73 to 78. That would be considered the hip hop era.
Okay.
Okay? Because it's pre-recording.
Right.
Right? 79 is when it became the industry, and it changed from hip hop to rap.
Right.
Okay? The biggest rap record in the game was called Rapper's Delight. You know what I mean? And that's when it all changed. Okay? So that era, if you weren't there, if you didn't participate in hip hop from 73 to 78, then you know nothing about hip hop. What you do know is about the culture that has derived from that era.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I heard LL on one of his records say, "Kamikaze, take a look at what I've done."
Right.
I used to rap in my basement. Now I'm number one.
Right.
That means to me he don't know nothing about hip hop.
Right.
What he do know is about that culture that was before he started making records. He wasn't a part of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he didn't speak on it in the
In
way
that time.
that
Right.
it was, you know, when it was, you know, from that era. He spoke about it from where he was at.
Right.
You know, I used to rock in my basement. Now I'm number one. I'm bad. You know, and that's not to say, you know, to belittle LL or, you know, to take anything away
but
from
you're entitled to your opinion, and
you know,
that's how you feel, and that's that. I mean, you're a pioneer. You can do that.
Basically, you know, so, and that's the difference. And then I actually...
But hip-hop today, though, what do you think about hip-hop today now that you reflect on the past? What do you feel that...
What do you mean, rap today? Okay.
Okay.
What I think about rap is, first of all, I have to tip my hat to anybody who is actively participating in the rap game.
Okay.
Why? Because I helped to give birth to a genre of music that would have... The sad part about hip-hop or rap is that the lifespan is very short.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, the lifespan of a record ain't but 3 months. The lifespan of an artist ain't but 3 years. And hip-hop is the only genre of music that doesn't support its own. Now, in any other genre of music, if you go to a Rolling Stones concert, you're going to see grandbabies to grandmas and grandpas.
Right.
And everybody is going to be taught the history of the Rolling Stones, why they're important, why they're significant to that genre of music, and hip-hop doesn't have that. You know, I went to the HIPHOP Honors one year. I was walking down the street with my man, and my man spotted T.I. And he said, "Oh, wow, dude, with T.I." And my man kind of lit up when he saw him, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, okay. So he was like, yo, say something to him. So I said, "What's up, T?" And he spoke, you know, he was cordial. And the only question I could ask him is, "What do you know about old school?" And the man, he looked me up and down like I owed him money and said nothing because I wasn't there. And he walked away. My man got upset. Yo, you should get out. He doesn't know the history of hip hop.
Right.
What is his fault is that he didn't care.
So whose fault would you say it is, honestly? For the viewers that are younger and they're saying, well, whose fault is it? You know, who would you say?
It's just like what's going on in society today. The village is not raising the children. So the people who possess the information is not disseminating it.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
What I find when I do talk to people who are interested in learning, most of them ask me why are so many pioneers bitter, you know what I mean? Or when they encounter them, like why is it, you know, they're so negative, you know? One, it's because they got caught up in the politics or the politics in the business.
Right.
You know what I mean? We know that hip hop today, rap today is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right.
And the brothers and sisters who helped to give birth to it are not benefiting from the industry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So of course, that could make you bitter. I remember a time when, you know, I didn't have anything nice to say. You know what I mean? I've changed my mindset, you know what I mean, because I have grown, you know, from that point. I do understand differently than I did then. I used to say, if I only knew then what I know now. Right. You know what I mean? I used to say that. But I have a mentor, right, who I consider to be a very wise man, you know, who explained to me, no, you are where you're supposed to be. Right. And everything you went through, you were supposed to go through, you know. And I found comfort in those words. Right. I had another gentleman tell me, if everything we attempted in business worked, we'd all be millionaires. Right. You know what I mean? So when I attempt projects and it don't work out, I don't get upset like I used to. You know what I mean? Right. I don't. You're mature, basically. I don't beat myself up. Right. And I don't. It's not only that I matured. Somebody gave me a jewel that I didn't understand at the time, and before I had a feeling about it. Today I don't do feelings. Right. I do strictly business. Right. A lot of people take offense to that when I say that. You know what I mean by that is that I don't attach a feeling to anything that's not going to be beneficial to me, you know, in the end. Right. You know, I have feelings, I have empathy, and I have sympathy. But, you know, I can't go to the corner store and tell a man, I feel like you should give me some bread. Right. You know what I mean? Because he's going to say to me, I think or I feel you should pay for it. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know.
My question is, real quickly, to go back a little bit about the hip-hop. What do you think is the solution to fix it? You said you do believe it's dead. How can we? Is there hope to restore hip-hop?
To be honest with you, I don't really think so. And the reason why is because the hip-hop game has been infiltrated by the drug game. Okay. And because drug money basically runs the hip-hop game now. You know what I mean? There's no changing and going back. I think it starts with each individual, you know what I mean, to make a conscious decision about what it is that they feel, you know, life should be about. Because, I mean, a lot of people buy into, you know, the facade that these rappers talk about, and, you know, and none of it's not real. Right. You know what I mean?
What about the young people that's trying to get into this hip-hop and they really believe that it's alive? What positive message can you give them that will be a positive inspiration for them to say, you know what, I want to still keep it going for you guys?
I think what I say to anybody that is who wants to carry that torch, if you're aspiring to be in the business, I believe that you should be good at your craft, but you should be better at the business behind your craft. That's right. And that's what I believe. I do workshops with individuals and groups, like I said, who have an earnest desire to make it in the industry, right? And it's an impromptu, kind of like a rites of passage program. Okay. You know what I mean? Because of the simple fact that everybody and their mother who attempts to do well in the business won't. You know what I mean? And, you know, for every one person that probably makes it, it's got to be at least 1,000 that don't. Right. You know what I mean? So you can't hang your hat on doing well in the business unless you know the business. And there's a lot of things that you can do to make money in the business.
So as an artist, they need to know the business and art. They don't just need to be knowing just a rapping only. They need to understand the business as well, so they know they're not going to be cut or burnt, because this industry is full of cutthroat companies.
And you got to know that, you know, that there's an expiration date on everything.
On everything.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, time is your worst enemy. Right. You know, I talk to a lot of my peers who say you should go in and you should record and you should and I say that's nice, but you know, hip hop is a team thing. Always was and always will be. Right. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest support network of hip hop or rap. Right? It's teens. Okay. We were teenagers when we started it. Right. You know what I mean?
There's more now.
The average 40-year-old, 50-year-old doesn't listen to hip hop. You know what I mean? They're into jazz and the soul and neo soul and all of that. They go to cafes now. You know what I mean? They're not going to hip hop spots. Right. They might go to a party here and there where hip hop music is being played, and the first thing is they saying, I don't understand that. You know what I mean? So they want to hear the old music because that's what they can relate to. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know, and there's very few old school hip hop spots.
Well, I'm not going to take too much more of your time, but I do want you to leave a few positive quotes that came from out of your mouth, from a pioneer to the viewers, what are some inspirational things can you pass down to the people out there that are checking us out today?
If you're in school, stay in school. If you dropped out of school, go back to school. You know what I mean? Education is the key. You know what I mean? People don't plan to fail. People just fail to plan. And nothing works without a plan. So if you are trying to be successful in anything in life, you need a plan.
That's right. That's right. All right, now, last thing but not least, please let everyone know the name of the websites, how they can contact you, and also how can they be a part of the health and dental care movement. Okay. Please, Dr.
All right, to contact me, you can check out the website. It's www.hiphop-pioneers-health with an S. hiphop-pioneers-health.org. Right? So you can check out the website there. We have another website is www.gbhiphop.com. It's more like a blog, but you can still check it out, see who's involved with the project. You can email me at gbhiphop@gmail.com. And all of that is the Groundbreakers. You can also get me at On Track Productions at Hotmail, and that's the talent end. So if you're interested in participating in our talent searches or our fashion showcases, you can get at me at On Track Productions with an S at Hotmail. You want to call us? We can be reached at 646-345-9575. That's the On Track hotline. The Groundbreakers number is 347-465-3139.
And to donate, people that want to donate finances to your establishment, just go straight to the website.
Just go to the website. Let's go to the website. I mean, basically right now we're in the process of setting up all of that. But if you want, you could go to the website and you can see how you can set it.
And go from there. So you got it live and direct from HVTV Network. This is the Book of Elii talking, and we're signing out with Rodney Stone, the pioneer.
Peace.
Peace.